having to change sets again. It's Monday after the Easter weekend. I'm not sure when y'all get to watch this one. We're setting up in our last set on this track here.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. We don't need another skidder down there, or no?
It was only 19 acres and it has an SMZ running through the middle of it, so it's
probably not.
Gotta,
we just got started.
Gotta have 2 sets on it.
I just wondered. I've been down here pushing on this set. I finally got done with it. I'm gonna bring that saw and stuff down there.
I think I'll finish this one up this afternoon though. If I don't finish cutting this one, I'll be really, really close. Looking at my computer over there. Got a truck backing in under us. We're set up basically in somebody's front yard.
Go ahead.
Don't know who these people are, but they seem like alright folks. I cut the set out and pile everything right there on top of the loader, where the skidder don't have to bunch it up and drag it around and they have to double handle it. It's already laying right there. All he's got to do is set up and start stroking wood. That Delimbinator, man, I just can't brag enough on that thing. That is a great
I'm not too close to you, man. If I am, I'll move up, pull up and move out a little bit.
I think you're alright. It'll be alright. Especially when I start loading up front.
I'll sit here and watch him run for a minute. There's some hairy stuff come out of this set. That old Delimbinator eats it up quick, man. And you can see it coming out over there. I mean, it's clean as a whistle. The Delimbinator also has a auto idle feature to it. We have a separate button zip tied to the joystick inside the loader. If you go back to the video we have of the showing off the inside of the 234B there, you can see that button, how we have it rigged up. But you press that button and you have 20 seconds to get that wood through the box. I guess while we're sitting here watching this, we'll discuss a few things I keep getting some questions on. One of the popular things is, why do we have smaller outside tire duals on our machines? The simplest answer is we have we have a 35.5 inside tire and we have a 24.5 outside tire. 24.5 wheels are, the 24.5 tire goes on the same wheel height as the 35.5 wheel. So the wheels match up. The other biggest reason we run the little bit narrower tires is most of our plantations down here are planted on, for a long time they were planted on 9-foot centers. Most everything is planted on 10-foot centers now. So that gives you, 20 feet, most places, 18 to 20 feet of working room, working room in a down row. And those machines are almost 16 feet wide. I can't tell you how many supposedly good operators I've brought out to the woods that could run a skidder in a clear cut, or either they're used to running a skidder and thinning with 44s or 50s, and no duals, there or just no duals at all, just running 35.5 tires on the skidder, and that was it. And you throw that extra set of tires on that machine and it gets it that much wider. People running a machine with duals and thinning, it takes some patience sometimes, and it's not for everybody. So the 24.5 tire on the outside keeps it kind of narrow enough that you still have a lot of room, most especially in modernized planted stands today. The 30.5 tire goes on a different wheel that don't bolt up to the 35.5s, if I remember correctly. And you really don't want two 35.5s together. One, it really stresses your axles. Two, man, that thing would be so wide and thinning, you wouldn't want that mess. So that's why we run the smaller outside tire, mainly for it keeps the machine narrow. That's the biggest thing, is it keeps the machine narrow to keep it easy and agile, mobile in the down rows. So we don't have to be cutting super wide accesses and down rows and stuff like that. It keeps it easy to work. The other thing we chose that tires, like I said, the wheel that those tires go on match up to our 35.5s. I guess he didn't like that it left a little bit of green, which our mill will fuss if there's still some green, but that's usually the guy trimming the truck. That's what I got him sitting over here doing. The other question I get is, how much do these machines cost? Too much is the correct answer on that one. Too much. I'm not going to get into the financial side of this, other than, maybe talking about how working a certain way, being more efficient, saves you money, that kind of thing. But talking about dollar amounts and stuff like that on YouTube, no, I don't feel comfortable sharing that kind of information with people. If you're really serious about starting a logging job or whatever, you have your sources that you can go talk to know what this equipment costs, what it pays, on and down the line. Yeah, he kind of overloaded its ass on that time. But anyway, I will not get into the expense side of things, how much this costs, that costs, don't cost. It's just that's business I don't really feel people need to know. I will say this much: the machines cost way more than what they should, and the haul rates and tonnage rates that we get paid to cut and skid this mess is not where it should be either, because of the equipment cost. Either one has to go up or one has to go down, and the only one that seems to be going up is the machine cost. But that's about as far as I'm going to get into that. I don't want to turn this into a let's talk finance on logging. It's just not what I want to do.
About 2 more thousand, make it be good.
What does the timber pay? Again, I don't want to get into the finance side of it. It pays decent. You can make a decent living doing this, but it needs to be more, to be honest. The time and the investments that you're making. How do you get started, or how do you how do you get started, or find out how much this is going to cost to get started? All that. We don't really fool with that side of things. We work for a timber management company. And we actually have, I guess you'd say, 2 middlemen. Somebody that finances the equipment for us, and we are contracted to a timber management company in my area. We agree upon a pay rate and everything like that to cut, skid, and load this, and then another pay rate to truck it. But as far as getting into it, getting in something like this, unless you are already on a job, working somewhere, have your own trucks, something like that, this is a very hard business to get started in, unless you have some capital of your own to invest in this stuff. A 3-piece logging job anymore is a $1 million investment, and it's unless you got some really good credit or a lot of capital put up somewhere, you're almost never going to get into it. If you do get into it on your own, when quotas get really tight in the summertime, you're going to be wishing you never made that decision. Because unless you're in with a bigger company, it seems like it's almost impossible for the little guy to make it anymore. I may or may not touch back on the little guy, small company subject at a later time. I feel whenever this video hits, a few people will see it, and then they'll kind of express their opinions on it, and that's fine. I'm not going to run you away for expressing your opinions, but I have mine on it. Trying to think of some of the other questions I've been getting. One I just received here a few minutes ago was, how many stems do we average to a load in this type of timber like this right here? Somewhere around 225, 200 on the better stems. When we go to getting mostly all thinning wood, which is hardly never, it could get up to about 250 stems. But usually a good solid average is 200 to 225 stems a truckload, and that will be a 30. This truck right here will be loaded with about 31, 32 tons. One of my contract trucks runs a little bit lighter weight. He runs down around the mid to upper 29 ton range, the lower 30 ton range for his heavier stuff, for his heavier loads. You know, he'll be up around the 30 ton range, and we'll put about two. That's when you're getting down into the 200 stems a load, maybe 180 stems a load. Truck like this, you're gonna put about 225 usually. Sucks running a loader like that. I'm sure somebody's gonna make a comment about the loader man being slow. Whenever you're having to use that box like that and you have no kicker pile over there to slide that wood around on, it really can really suck.
This pile over on South River Road is drying up, isn't it?
It can really suck trying to come out of that box
Must be on the telephone.
and not catch them trees and they slide and everything else. You just got to be really careful. Anyway, maybe I answered a few questions. I'll let y'all watch the box loader work for a little bit. He's almost got that pile down. I got the access and everything already laid out here. Go back to cutting. See what happens the rest of the afternoon. Hopefully, we done lost a truck today. He had something break. Hopefully, we'll have a good rest of the Monday and have a good week this week. We didn't have a very good one last week. We just said to hell with it on Friday. Decided to take Easter weekend off. Man, we just needed a break. We've been pressing really hard here lately, and things have just not been working right. So we'll get it though. Anyway, we'll catch y'all later.